Welcome back to the most recent update of the Without Us webinar series. Today, as you can see, I'm going to be focusing on CX data and the fact that it is effectively just noise without relative insight. So without further ado, I'm James Cuthbertson, Chief Revenue Officer here at Relative Insight, and I'm going to be whizzing you through a few minutes on our view around how you can be bringing much more out of the data that you're collecting from your customers. Now, first thing to say is that we understand that a great deal of time and effort has already been put into creating a voice of the customer program with specialist vendors. And the way that we work is that we feel that we can bring much more value on top of your existing setup. So let me explain exactly what I mean. Over on the left-hand side, you can see the types of data that we tend to work with on behalf of our customers. So review data, case management tools, voice of the customer surveys, and contact centers. And there are many brilliant vendors out there. Regardless of which those are, we can work with those tools to automatically bring that data into relative insight on an automated basis and use our deterministic AI to drive the insights that will help you make more decisions more quickly throughout your organizations. So if we think about the way that actually comes to life, once the analysis is run in relative, over on the right-hand side, there are a few ways that we bring those insights into the world. First is that we use existing visualization tools, think Power BI or Tableau. The second is that we can enrich existing customer records in a warehousing tool, think Snowflake. The third is that we can drive automatic reporting, and that tends to be through email, which is highly impactful. And then the final thing is using your next best action or decisioning capability. We can use these insights to drive those decisioning capabilities and decisioning trees. So the benefits for this obviously are over on the right-hand side. By aggregating all of the data, it allows one platform, uniform analysis, so one source of truth. The second is that we can build a bespoke taxonomy that gives you real confidence that we're analyzing data in an appropriate way for you and your business and the vertical market that you exist in. The third is that we can bring existing data to life and to start to extract real value from it. So you've taken the effort and you care deeply about your customer interactions. You've taken the effort to collect that data. And so now what we're saying is that we're able to help you get a lot more out of all of that data that you already have. And then the final thing is that any action taken automatically can remove friction in the improving things operationally from all of the data that's coming from this. So let's talk a little bit about the value that we drive here at Relative. So the first level of value is that you are highly likely to already be attempting to report on voice of the customer and CX data. It's probably time consuming, fairly cumbersome. It's often quite manual. And so what we're able to do is take that process, speed it up, make it more scientific and reliable, and ultimately drive efficiency. What that does is that by optimizing that reporting function, we can deliver more insights to operational leaders and senior leaders more often, more quickly in a format that they're comfortable with, meaning that incremental changes will happen in the business and things will just get better. And then ultimately, by improving things day after day, after week, after week, after week, those KPIs start to move in the right direction and ultimately it drives revenue. So let's talk specifically about voice of the customer and CX data, as that's what this update is all about. As I mentioned in my introduction, you guys are not going to be short on data. You're probably awash with data because you care deeply about your customers. You've taken the steps, spent the money, and put the effort in to engage with them on a number of different channels, whether that's in your contact center environment or whether it's with post-interaction surveys, whether it's reviews, whatever it is, you are already collecting a great deal of data and you're spending money and time on that. The problem that we often find is that there's not one vendor that allows you to do all of the analytics, all of the collection, it just doesn't exist. And so what we're focused on is by acting as that analytics layer between the data collection tools that are specialists in their area, and also the visualizations and reporting capability you've already got, by putting relative insight in the middle, we're really able to supercharge what you're able to get out of all of this data. And when it comes to creating, as we say on the slide here, holistic story, like one single source of truth, one tool for people to be logging into, one report to people to be looking at every 9 a.m. every Monday morning, it really does drive a great deal of efficiency to be bringing all of those signals into one place. As well as doing that, it's also problematic because you're not able to act on these signals fast enough, regularly enough, if they are disparate and existing across loads of different tools. And so by bringing them all under one roof and standing up a reporting cadence that's reliable, and that is expected by the people that are receiving these insights, what happens is that instead of being overwhelmed with data and stories and lots of different conflicting messages about the same thing, like why is our CSAT score going down? We need to go away and investigate that. It's going to take us a week, and by that time, the issue's already rumbled through your organization, and then maybe that customer problem has caused its damage, may have gone away, resolved itself, got worse. Who knows? The idea is that by bringing semi-real-time reporting in from all of these different signals, you're able to work out exactly what's going on and take action in the moment, and drive an outcome, which is absolutely crucial. And so, the idea that we can take these results and produce something that's reliable, deterministic in a timely fashion is absolutely crucial. So the next point I'd like to make is that by understanding what's going on and driving a better outcome for all of your stakeholders, the first thing is that those insights that you guys are working so hard to produce at times don't die in the analytics team. They're able to actually spread out through the organization. It means that we're able to take away how time intensive, labor intensive, and manual a lot of that process can be. And so it saves time and effort. It enables those people to go and do high value work with that data. Like that human in the loop is still super essential, and ultimately improves your CX and customer satisfaction, which is what we're all going to school for, right? So let's talk about a case study with a streaming provider that we work with. So as you can see over on the left-hand side, they, like many other people and many other companies, have lots of different places where the rubber meets the road, where customers are interacting with agents, or AI agents or bots, or even leaving reviews and survey responses. And so what we're able to do is by bringing all of those data sets into under one roof with a suitable and tailored taxonomy to provide that analysis, we can start to help squeeze the juice out of all of that unstructured text, all of that incredibly insightful customer interactions that have been collected. And by standing up a reliable and automated reporting process, it goes from being a really big mission to try and get a joined up story in a timely fashion to it just being table stakes and it happening week after week after week. And obviously, the streaming provider faces some of the challenges that you would expect. So they have the boom and bust of people joining and churning because of key shows that are coming on, or because of the cost of living crisis, or because of competitor offers. And so, although they're faced with some of these challenging headwinds, we're able to help them understand, like in real detail, what exactly is it that's driving people to leave or to join, and how do they get ahead of that? How do they plan for it, and how do they mitigate it? So I really appreciate you joining. We'd obviously love to talk to you so much more about all of these interesting themes. Please do get in touch with Relative Insight, and we can whiz you through some case studies and get to know a little bit more about your CX program. Thanks so much.